Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King. You can see I'm still rocking my Terry O'Reilly jersey in celebration of the Bruins making it to the second round of the playoffs, which, isn't that big of a deal, but any excuse to wear the throwbacks. And today, as promised, we've got the first in an epic four-part series chronicling the adventure my wife and I went on Free Comic Book Day this year, where we went to not one, not two, but three comic stores, bought a bunch of cool stuff at all three, and saw some back issues like you wouldn't believe. So wait till you hear about some of the cool back issues that I saw at these stores. Today, we're starting with a store visit to a store that I haven't featured yet. So it's going to go up on the map. Let's throw it up on the map, because you'll definitely want to go to this store. It's called Hall of Comics. It's on Route 9 in Westborough, Mass, heading eastbound. Now, this is a comic store that I've been to before, but when it was in a previous location. It used to be further down Route 9, and it was westbound, and it was towards Framingham. And it's hard to believe that it's been open this long, because I think of it as a new store, but actually it's been at least 10 years now since it first opened. And we went, I remember getting a Gru #1 there out of a dollar bin the first time I went there. And then 8 years ago, on Free Comic Book Day, my wife and I had an adventure where we drove around to a bunch of comic book stores. And there was an artist that was there live and drew a really cool portrait of us. So we've been to the store before, but those were before I was doing these YouTube videos. So this is the first time I've been back in 8 years. For whatever reason, every time I've tried to go back in the intervening 8 years, it just happened to be closed the days that I was going or whatever. But it's definitely worth the trip, because I gotta say, in the last 8 years, they've come a long way, and they had the goods. They had a ton of back issues. They had a lot of Silver Age stuff. They had some Golden Age stuff, and their prices were pretty reasonable, which is not necessarily easy to find when you're talking about Silver and Bronze and Golden Age stuff anymore. But they had some good prices on stuff. They had a lot of keys up on the wall from the Copper Age and earlier that some of you would be interested in. They had stuff like Amazing Spider-Man 300 was up on the wall. They had a Detective Comics 359, which actually I looked at for a little while, because that's a book that I would like to have in my collection, and the price was reasonable. It was lower grade, but I think it was $379. But everything was 25% off, except for the dollar books, which I'm about to show you. But the wall books were all 25% off. Let me stop here. Rewind a little. The CGC books were 25% off. All the other back issues are 25% off, except for the non-CGC wall books. So, got that a little bit wrong. But for Free Comic Book Day, great deals. And again, the prices were reasonable anyway. So even without the 25% off, I think that's a totally reasonable price for a Detective 359. So I thought about that for a while. I'm going to show you, I got some free comic books. I got some dollar bin books, and I got a back issue that I needed, that I've been looking for years, for one of my collections. So I was very excited. But before I show you any of those things, I want to tell you about the one that got away, because they had a book. In my last video, I teased that at these stores I went to on Free Comic Day, I saw some comic books. Like real, honest to God comic books. Not the crap that passes for comic books. Not like when you go to the comic book store and they're like, yeah, we've got back issues, and then there's like a whole box of Turok #1 and Deathmate Black. It wasn't that. It was real, honest to God comic books, including something that I just about pooped myself when I saw, because I desperately wanted it. And it was 25% off, because it was a CGC 1.0 copy of, wait for it, Adventure Comics #44, with Sandman, the first green suit Sandman cover. Now, I love Sandman, and an Adventure Comics issue of Sandman with a Sandman cover old Sandman with the gas mask, not the stupid Simon Kirby superheroized like jumpsuit. No, not that one. They had some cool covers because Kirby's awesome, but I mean the gas mask with the suit Sandman. He was only on the cover from issue 40 to 47, and then Our Man appeared in 48, and then it was like, I think they alternated for a little while. So there were very few, and 44 is very early, and it's an amazing cover. And I love the Adventure Comics name and logo. It's my favorite logos, but the original logo, but even more so sort of the later curving logo. But I just love everything about it. It was gorgeous, and I desperately wanted it. Now, it was priced at $1,800. It was 25% off, so it would have been, I think, $1,350. And I just don't have that kind of money to spend on back issues right now. And if I had $1,300 to spend on comics, I would probably spend it on making comics. And if I was going to do a back issue, I should probably do something a little more in my specific collecting field. But if that had been less, I might have broken. Because it was beautiful. It presented gorgeously for 1.0. It was a beautiful comic book. And it's just wonderful to see that. Like, when you go into a comic store, you don't expect to see something like an Adventure Comics 44 on the wall. So, huge props to this place. They had 2 classic spinner racks from the early 70s that they had decked out with Silver Age and Bronze Age comics for sale. It was just beautiful. So, I did get some stuff though. So let me show you what I got. First of all, they had some free comic books, and the comic books they had that were free, they had, like a lot of stores, it was a limit of 5 per person. Here's the ones that I got. It's Conan, Battle of the Black Stone. And this is the current Titan run of Conan. I got the Free Comic Day Conan last year, and it was excellent. So I wanted to pick this up. I'm not actually buying the series, but I've thought about it because I do like Conan a lot. I have a complete run of Conan, the Barbarian, the Marvel version. I'm just not sure. Like, I haven't actually finished reading those, so before I get the new ones, I should read the older ones. But for free, definitely want to get that. I also took, let's see, some classic stuff here. There's a lot of retro classic stuff in my choices. How about this? It's stories from the Atlas Comics library with one of the classic Bill Everett covers from Venus. What issue is this? 17. So like an all-time classic cover. I don't know why there's this giant green box here. I don't know if the store was supposed to put their stamp there or something. I don't know. So I wish that wasn't there so you could really see more of the cover. But all-time classic. So, hey, gotta get that. I also got a Mad magazine, Free Comic Book Day. It has this classic illustration by Carrie Collin, who does a lot of these superhero humor strips that have become memes. And so this is one that I've actually seen all over the place for years. So it was really fun to get it on a Mad magazine cover. I know he has done stuff for Mad. So that was really cool. I also got, I'm a huge fan of Big Barda, so I got this. It's Ngozi Ukazu's Barda thing from DC. I don't know anything about it, but I'm looking forward to reading this because I do love Barda. And then finally, continuing the theme of the retro nostalgia that I've had here for the last couple videos, it's Gatchaman #0. Now, when I was a kid, in the 70s, in the late 70s, Battle of the Planets, which was the US name for Gatchaman, was a series that I absolutely loved. It was sort of a precursor series for me because not long after that is when our local station started running Star Blazers and Force 5, and we had all these anime shows here in the Boston area that we could watch. But the first one that I saw was Battle of the Planets. So I was really excited to get that. So talk about a great haul for 5 free comic book day things. Now I will say, this is more props to the store. We went to 3 stores on this trip. This is the only one where we had a selection for free comic book day. We'll get into this in the later videos, but the second store didn't actually have anything for free comic book day. And then the third store, That's Entertainment, which is the biggest store in the area in my LCS for the last 30 years. They had so many people show up. They had actually given out almost all of them. So by the time we got to that store, there were only 6 left to choose from. And so they just said, well, just take one of each of them. So I got all of those. I'll show them later. But there was it was just whatever was left over was the only thing we could get. But here they had a selection, and as a result, I came away with, just want to show these again, just a great selection of these. Conan, Atlas Horror, Mad Magazine, Battle of the Planets, and Barda. That's a sweet haul. They also had some great dollar bins. You know, these days, the dollar bins, it's getting harder and harder to find stuff. Anytime I can find anything from before like 1983 in a dollar bin these days, it's amazing. But I got several things. I might have actually already had a couple of these, but, you know, I had to get them. They were $1. So, Super Team Family, number 5. It's got the origin of Eclipso, a character that I really don't give a crap about. We got, check this out, some classic Charlton horror. It's Ghostly Haunts, number 37, with a Tom Sutton cover. Huh? I'll take those for $1 all day. Men of War, number 22, with a Gravedigger story. So I'm looking forward to that. This is one that I got, Metarog, if you're watching, I'm sure you have this already, but I thought of you immediately when I saw this, so I picked it up. It's Popeye and Environmental Careers. And Popeye is holding a broom. There's all this, like, and Popeye saying, hey kids, you can help make this country a better place to live and get paid well for doing it. So this is from 1973. They had a couple copies of this. And then here's the back cover. Let's keep it clean from now on, kids. Look, he's cleaned it up. Same location. Here it's full of wreckage. Clean. The animals are happy. So is Popeye. You don't want an angry Popeye. I think we all know that. Okay, more dollar bin books. Check these out. It's Kirby's Commandy number 27. $0.20 books for $1. Yes, please. It's Superman 282. Book that I used to own and sold at one point. And the same can be said of the next book in my list. Check it out. It's Action Comics number 435. How's that for a $1 bin haul, right? But wait, how about a 12-cent DC? I've never actually read anything from this series. Look, it's Bomba the Jungle Boy, number 6. Now, this is one of my favorite DC eras because this is when they started. Carmen Infantino took over as the art director, and all of a sudden the logos got more interesting, and the design of the cover was so much more dynamic. And this period here, so this comic is dated 1968. So it's like late 67 and then 1968. DC's covers just got like so much more modern, like immediately. So I love this era of DC. I've never read anything with Bomba the Jungle Boy, but now I'm going to be able to do that for $1. So those are my dollar bin hauls, huh? Pretty awesome. And then finally, this is the book that I needed for my collection that I've been looking for. I'm down to just like 12 issues to finish this complete run here. It is Life with Archie number 4. I already have issues 1, 2, and 3. So I'm really excited to get number 4, and I've got 5. So really awesome to get this. Now you can see a couple things. First of all, it was priced at $25, but it was actually 25% off. So in fact, this whole pile of comics that I got here after tax was only $26. And so most of it was this. It was basically like I got all of those dollar books for free because of the 25% off this. And you can see it's got a kid's name written on it. It says Joyce Lambert. And I love having kids' names on comics. It's just part of the provenance. It's part of the history. It's part of why getting back issues, the actual back issues, is more fun than getting reprints or trades or digital versions. Not that you can necessarily do any of those things with this comic, but I love having that link to history. That's why you get the originals, is for that sort of thing. So anyway, what a great store. What a great haul. So much cool stuff. And that Adventure Comics 44 is just going to live in my dreams, swimming in my mind. So that's it for this time. But next time we're going to show the second store we went to on our Epic Free Comic Book Day adventure. And there's still more to come. That Adventure 44, after I saw that, I thought to myself, there's nothing that could top this today. But I was wrong. There were a couple comics that I saw at one of the upcoming stores. I don't want to say which, because I want you to watch both videos, or all 3, because I've got another one coming after that. But just a tease, one of the other stores, I don't have any footage because it's Free Comic Book Day. Everything was too crowded for me to take footage inside. But there was another comic store I went to that had 2 absolute stone cold golden age keys that blew my brain. So I can't wait to tell you about those. So tune in next time. Let me know what you think of this haul down below, and I'll see you next time.